Hello Internet, hello gamers. We'll be continuing our journey with the Doctor in the Vampyr game to see what happens and to find who is responsible for biting him, sorry. Okay, a moment please. Let's begin our journey. Take me to a hospital. That was the last chapter. I hope everything is okay. You guys have sound and picture. From what I see, it should all work fine. But you never know with technology. Okay. The last time we slept here, we used all our experience points to upgrade the good doctor. Let's check out what we have. Refill. Oh, thank you. Analyze. The task we have to do is analyze William Bishop's blood in the at the workbench. Okay, let's analyze that. Okay. Light regeneration serum. Regenerate 300 health points instantly, then 150 health points over 50 seconds. That's interesting.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
So we have to rest. There is also a side mission, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. We haven't forgot about that, but first we have to follow the main mission. We don't have much to upgrade, not many experience points. How should we rest? Excuse me a moment. Okay. Oh, we just confirm. So he sleeps the following night. Yeah.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals.
Yes, you have to learn.
What about my thirst for blood?
Mission update, let's see. I have analyzed William Bishop's blood, but the results is only partial. The blood sample was much more unstable than human blood and showed heavy mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. Oh, exactly what he said earlier. I need to gather more evidence of what is going on. Time may be on my side, but not at London's. The epidemic is killing thousands of people. The whole city is on the verge of collapse. I'm starting to believe all of this must be connected somehow, but I can't see any pattern or plausible explanation yet. For now, I must play the doctor and try to do my best to help those who may need me. Why I'll continue my search. Quest. Answer the door. Okay. Tell the Pembroke Hospital to cope with the epidemic. I recently watched The Passage, a TV series, if you know, and the V Wars. Both of them have to do with vampires, so it's interesting playing a game with this theme also.
Come on, I don't have all night.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
What should we choose? There's nothing here.
There's nothing here.
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the back door because it's been sealed off for sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then.
I hope I'll find it easily. Oh, I'll ask some directions. Okay, let's go there. The good doctor will help with the patient. Let's talk to him.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
No, we already asked him all this question.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reid. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Okay, next time. Oh, let's check the map. Hospital. Are we at the full zoom? No. We can... Before that... we have to go around here. This little passage. And we're here. Or the other way. Whichever it's easier, I think. Maybe I'll try this way. And do also the backyard garden mission.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
Investigate. Opa. Whoa. Okay. That was unexpected. I thought I forgot how to fight. Let's check the dumpster. All right. No, go that way. Oh, yes, there they are. Alrighty. Find the lost wallet in the garden. Oh, here it is. The Garden of Good and Evil. A photograph of a smiling and loving couple with a few words written in the back. Milton and Pippa forever. Details? No? No. Bring back the wallet to its owner. First of all, I'll finish the mission with the night shift. Yeah, going the right way, I think. What's this? Bullets, bullets, bullets. Anything else? As I said the last time, I'm just going around. Maybe because I'm checking for hidden objects or something to pick up. Okay, this is the way. Quarantine, influenza, keep out of this area by the order of Board of Health. Health officer. Quarantine. Quarantine, contagious disease. One shall enter or leave quarantine area without written of the local health authorities. An authorized employee of the shall alter, destroy, or remove this card. Violating this regulation will be fined. Yeah, that would be the least of our problems. Quarantine, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's from the word 40, when in the past they should wait for 40 days before enter a port the ships. No. Where is it? Where should we go? Let's check the map. Whoa. This. Okay, I'm here. Oh, here it is, the morgue. The old morgue. Find useful medical ingredients in the old morgue. Find some ferrous tartrate. Find some quinine. Find some sodium hypochlorite. Okay, most of them I don't know what it is, but they are. A glass vial. That's not what we're looking for. I think there might be some enemies here. Glass vial. Or maybe I'm mistaken. Did we have some torch or lighter? I think I'll have to go to the second floor. Nothing. Some shillings to pay our gun dealers, maybe. Well, it's too, how can I say, too dark. I can fix it a little. Make it a little more bright for you people to be able to see. I think this is fine. Better brighter than darker. Let's see how it is. Okie dokie. Up or down?
I cannot enter.
I cannot go down, so it is up. Alrighty there.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
Yeah. This is not just a simple influenza, it's Vampyrenza. If there is such a word. No, nothing. Dead body with shotgun shells and some bullets. Oh, let's try to enter. No, we cannot enter. What do we have here?
This key will surely grant me access to the basement.
We found the mystery key. Bottle of alcohol. 2 of them. That's good. Can always use some alcohol to sterilize wounds. Where is... Oh, here. I think I'm close to dying, maybe? We cannot enter.
It's locked.
I forgot how we can bite them.
Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful.
Iron tartrate. Okay. Watery rich blood sample. Okay, we have to go now to the basement. And the... Whoa! What was that? Where did he go? Scary. Honestly, I don't remember how I have to fight. Oh, I have to press Y first.
These skulls feed from corpses in the husk of animals. They're not after blood.
I didn't play much of... I didn't play almost for a week. Oh, by the way, Merry Christmas, everybody! And I forgot a little bit of the controls, how we use them. The attack and the defense. I played some other games, so... Okay, don't see anything, but we killed him. Okay. After all, what matters is the results. Okay, I go through the shelves. Nothing. What's this? Use Liston knife. Blood absorb. You just acquired a new type of offhand weapon. Equipped it in the Y to directly absorb blood. How do we do that? In the offhand. Yeah, how do I equip it? That is something I have to find out. Maybe. Okay. Yes. I found how to equip it. Main hand. Common Sith. Which does the best damage? Okay, this. Equipped. Actives. That spear and autophagy.
It's locked, all right.
We'll find the key, don't worry. I think so, at least. Oh, the reflection there scared me. I thought it was some enemy. Whoa. Flash. There. Hello. Oh, I didn't have the chance to use. Oh, it's two-handed. I cannot use the other. Sorry. Offhand. Too bad. No problem. We have to come inside here, so first I'll check what we missed. Nothing around here. This is the door. Getting inside here, there is nothing here. Okay. No more enemies, at least not here. We'll see what happens when we open this door. Whoa. Alrighty. Ooh, that is scary. Whoa. Bloodsuckers. Okay, I'm dead. I didn't expect that. You have been defeated. If you are not strong enough, remember that blood... Yeah, something like... Oh, I have to go from the beginning. Too bad. Maybe for this enemy it would be wise to use the teeth. How exactly to pronounce it? Okay. I'll go directly to the enemy. To the boss. I think it's a boss type. And let's hope for the best. I'll change the weapon. Should I use gun? Not much of a damage. Let's see what we can do. Come on.
These skulls can be so ferocious.
I didn't expect that.
Without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting. Sodium hypochlorite. Dangerous to administer, but efficient in the proper dosage.
Hypochlorite. Let's check the morgue. There's some office there, but we can't go from here, so we have to teleport. Yeah. I'll have to get stronger to face this kind of... You have enough components to craft a medicine treatment for fatigue. Okay. Later maybe. Anything here? Oh no. This door won't open. So, let's go down. Check what we can find. Nothing. Nothing at all. To be honest, I expected some more things to find here, but no problem. There is an enemy somewhere here. Stop screaming into my ears. Yeah. Locked, yes, I remember this. I said we'll find the key, but no key yet. Oh, the research. Okay. Local investigations. A new citizen investigation is available. Press yes, select to open the local investigation menu. Citizen investigation. Citizen investigation is displayed here, categorized by districts. You can start a new citizen quest by tracking it with X, then access to your map to locate the area to explore. Press 8 to continue. Milton hooks. Blood quality 1000 XP. Okay. Death report. Officer of Pembroke Hospital, medical examiner, a resort of investigation. Descendant Samuel Connor, race Caucasoid. Anyway, Caucasian, I thought. Sex male, age 39, home address unknown, occupation fisherman, type of death natural, probable cause of death fast progressing pneumonia by virus induced pulmonary consolidation, Spanish influenza, Spanish flu, yeah. Examination attendees, Dr. Connor Tippett, nurse Gwyneth Brannagan, name and signature of medical examiner Dr. Corrigan Tippett. Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look into this. Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps?
Maybe.
The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful.
Yeah, to drain the fluids.
Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error.
Oh.
It's time we talked.
Okay, Dr. Tippett. I've killed the patient. By mistake, I hope. Where are you, you little screaming vampire? Oh, here you are. Whoa, 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 whoa. Really? The heck? Okay. I should be more careful. I hope I don't have to go through all this again, but my guess is I have to. Alrighty then. can construct. Some kind of medicine, I don't remember. Let me check who is Dr. Tippett. Ah, the one who is helping us, yes. Too bad. So this time let's equip ourselves a little bit better for the fight. I'll use this. Oh. How do we equip? I forgot. Come on. Oh, here it is. Even though it's level 1, I think it's better. Let's try it out. Let's go kill everyone from the beginning. What? Nobody's here. Really? Oh my god. I did all this just not being able to attack the enemies, which now they seem to disappear. Can I break all this? Oh. Okay. Nothing. Let's see the corp again.
It's locked.
Locked. Like the last time.
Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked.
Oh, so it saved. That's good. I thought I had to do all of it again. And no vampire. Whoa! Here they are. That's weird. Maybe I find a key later to open that. Is there any hidden key somewhere here? I don't know. I don't want to leave yet. Oh, here, 1, 2. That's great. Whoa. Okay, not again. I have been defeated too many times. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Don't believe it, I'm so useless. Okay, great. I am. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay. Starting to remember how to fight. Whoa! Oh, he's dead. Enough. I think we checked already this room. We checked also room. Yeah. Okay. Nothing here. Oh. Watch. Let's watch for the watch. Nothing. A big nothing. I hope I didn't forget anything in the upper floor. But in case I forgot, let me check. Oh, more. Walkers. Vampire walkers. Nothing here. I was hoping to find the key for that chest down there. Nothing. No.
Behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza. It's locked, all right.
Yeah, many things are locked here. Whoa. Oh, I thought there was an enemy. Oh, nothing. At least I gained some experience points. No, nothing. So I simply have to go. Sorry for the delay. I just want to make sure that we didn't leave something behind. Extra ammo will be stored in your stash. Pembroke Hospital. Oh, open now. Huh. Good. Let's finish first the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil mission. I always confuse select with start. Oh. Come on. Night shift. And We have to craft the treatment for fatigue first. Yeah.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yes, I have found your wallet also.
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what?
Yeah.
Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reid.
Okay.
Goodbye, Milton.
Ah,
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
maybe
Still
we
trying to
can
save
talk
lives?
some other issues. Yeah, open.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right. But we support each other. And that's all that matters.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate relationships with one another.
Come on, Dr. Reid. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day just to keep it running? There's
He's
nothing
right.
wrong with what we're doing.
Okay.
Goodbye, Milton.
Milton Chadwick. As I said before, from the Devil's Advocate. And this is, yeah, okay. I'll go upstairs here to produce to craft the treatment for fatigue. Bring the medicine to Dorothy Crane in the patient's room. Okay. Dorothy Crane. Crane. Pick up on Crane. Maybe sense. Viva on Hampton.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Well,
You must get a
legit
hold of
question.
yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
How long have you been a nurse?
Or long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change
Well,
that.
you have to make a vaccine.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
That's true.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
New hint available. Okay.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned, Milton is not the chatty type.
Oh, he's chatting when he wants something.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes, Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth
They
the
cannot
risk?
afford to lose nurses
I'm
at
no
this
perfect woman,
time.
and Milton is not the finest bloke. But we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Personal questions? Oh, no hints. Let's see the details. He said something about... Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
The pain. There again.
Talk a little bit to Milton. Maybe he can give us some clue.
I met him in New York.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count on you.
Good evening, Milton.
Good
Now
evening,
we have
Doctor.
a
Still
hint.
trying to save lives?
Yes? We already asked him that.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reid.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Goodbye,
Okay.
Milton.
Let's ask
Good
him
evening,
about the
Dr. Timmons.
operation.
Dr. Reid, any good news to share?
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a
He admitted
twofold
it.
error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
That's funny. The characters behind them are stuck. Wait, I go back.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Okay, let's talk again, Mr.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reid, any good news to share?
No, we have to continue our conversation about about your medical error.
I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
already
blunt
said that.
truth.
Who was
Who
he?
was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Why not stop practice?
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
Okay. Nothing else
Goodbye,
to
Dr.
ask.
Tippett.
So let's go to find Dorothy Crane. I saw something here. Is she on the second floor? Oh gee. Run, run, run. Oh, that's Pipa. Let's check what's here. Oh. What's this? Medical files. D. Elwood's medical files. Patient Thomas Elwood, male, age 28. Followed by Dr. Tippett. Oh, I hope he's not dead. Status: convalescence. Date of admission: September 16th. Date of release to be determined. Oh, he's still here. Notes: the patient's face has been heavily burned and disfigured by a bomb during the war. Even with the use of the strongest sedatives, he affirms to regularly endure severe pain from the wounds, as if the flames are still burning under the skin, he says. Examinations of the cicatrized tissue show no trace of inflammation, infection, or swelling. Scars are clear. Could it be a case of persisting nerve damage? The patient never ceases to blame it himself for his disfiguration. Could it be a case of guilt of the survival? Phantom pain manifesting as punishment for not dying with his comrades? Who knows? Underground filter key. Thomas Elwood, we have to find him. Blood quality, we don't know. Laycox. Okay, where are you, nurse? He's not here.
It's locked, all right.
Like everything else in this game. I'm just kidding. I didn't see that. Okay. Use hacksaw. Maybe we use it as a weapon. Nothing on the second floor.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench.
Oh, crumpled letter. Dear love, I finally found the missing money for the fee asked by the ambulance driver to bring you to the hospital. Don't worry about nothing now except getting better. For I took care of everything. I asked some of our neighbors and they told me that this Mr. Hooks is something of an honest crook. He may ask for extra money in exchange for a bed, but the bed is then guaranteed. I'm sorry, I refused to pay first, and I realize now that the important thing is that you get better soon. The Pembroke Hospital is a good place, I heard, despite the bad behavior of this Milton Hooks. I promise you that everything is okay now. I'll see you in our clean bed as soon as possible. With the fondest love, Nikolai. Okay. That's an extra hint for Milton. Well, they said he's an honest crook. Few bodies here, few bodies there. Where is this nurse? Yes, okay. Then wait. 9 meters. Dorothy Crane. Hello, my beloved Dorothy.
Finally, you've returned,
Finally,
Doctor. Did
yeah.
you find anything of value?
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
That's good.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Pressing or depressing? Disease decrease the blood quality of citizen. Use the correct medicine to heal them. Speak to the patient in the room behind Dorothy to check his medical status. Mission update. Talk to Edward Swansea.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check
Mortimer
on him,
Goswick.
please, Dr. Reid? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses.
Mortimer.
That's all that matters.
Weird name. I haven't heard
really
it.
that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived, but we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Oh.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Oh.
Don't waste your time with me.
They using their power
She
to
charged
gain.
you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
To gain wealth.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reid. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Well, in some countries it's the status quo. Personal questions, we can't. Something personal.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Goodbye.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
There were some hints there, but I didn't see them.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes,
A
maybe.
vampire bite, maybe?
But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reid. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering
Is your
you?
mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Overprotective mother. Personal questions? Tell me about
Tell me
yourself.
about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Fatigue. You with people.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir.
As for me,
Doctor.
what a blundering idiot.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
How can I treat him? Press for details.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
Can I treat him? Somehow? Maybe I should. I ran in the hospital to talk to Edward Swansea. We have to talk with all these patients. Dorothy Gray. Where is it? Not this one. Has to be somewhere. Oh. Fairburn Hospital. 2nd of November, my dear children, sorry I did not write to you before, but it hurts like hell just to write these few words on bloody paper. Don't worry, Daddy will go out of the hospital as soon as the doctor fixes his arm. In the meantime, if you need something, go see Mr. Chadwick at the construction site and tell him you are Harley Fiddick's children. You remember Robert Chadwick? You remember Robert Chadwick, the big guy with the mustache who helped me repair the house door last spring? Go see him and ask for a few bob. I guess it's money. He won't refuse to spare you a few. I'm sorry I can't work anymore for now, but I'll figure out something as soon as I'm out. Don't worry, everything will be fine as soon as Daddy's arm is strong again. As soon as doctors have fixed my arm. This diary. Dear love, I finally found the missing money for the fee. Ask for the ambulance. Yeah, we already read that. Here's the medical file, death report, photograph in the wallet. Yes. Okay.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen.
Circumstances.
As for me,
Benefit of the doubt.
what a blundering idiot.
Blood temptation. Remove a citizen's blood will provide you an extra massive boost of XP. Yeah. I'll try not to kill anybody. Milton, my dear boy, let's talk.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yes. Personal questions, Milton. You're extorting money.
Tell me why you're extorting money from some of the patients here.
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
Where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I realized I could make a fortune.
Good for you.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know that.
Have you no shame?
Don't you see this city is crumbling down? Today people are ready to pay to get a hospital bed. Tomorrow we may be fighting for food.
He's a businessman. What can I say?
Goodbye, Milton.
He has no moral consciousness.
And I thought last time.
Oh, let's make a fatigue potion, I think. No. And let's see if we can use it to heal that boy. What happened here? That's weird. Maybe it's a glitch? Oh, I already had one. So I can... Wow! That's good. Where were we? Here.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
No, you're not.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Give medicine.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
He's recovering.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Oh, I cannot mesmerize.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reid. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reid.
Oh, great admirer. Tell me
Please, could you
what
tell
you
me
said.
something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reid. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Oh, we have fun.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Maybe.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Well, maybe we'll find something. Tell me about Pembroke Hospital.
About the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea.
Swansea.
With your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Swansea. You seem
quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True.
True.
Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need my
help? Do you need
help?
help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reid. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Missing ingredients. New investigation. Yes. Okay. Back. Personal question. What about your blood transfusion technique?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reid. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Oh. Learned something about Mr. Fiddick.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
He has a point.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I'm all right.
Who is he?
Don't waste your time.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reid? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansey's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Oh, really? That's what I am, a dabbler. Maybe I'll eat you later. Make him vampire dinner.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansey has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but
who knows, maybe he will want to agree.
Of course you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Oh, you make that.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansey, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness?
Carelessness?
Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
New hint available for Dr.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I will not let you down, Mom.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reid. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Oh. Really?
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
This is starting to remind me, with all these interviews, it's interview with a vampire. Honestly.
Dr. Reid, may I help you?
Yes, Dorothy. No, it's not Dorothy, it's Pippa who should ask.
Well, Dr. Swansey certainly has confidence in your abilities. Are you in charge of the nursing staff?
Not in an official capacity, but the Pembroke doesn't always work above board, so to speak.
What about medical protocols?
Dr. Reid, we don't have the money and resources here at the Pembroke like they do in the West End. We do what we can.
How is the work
How is the
organized?
duty roster organized?
Everybody works until they can't. If there's time, they'll eat a meal and shed a silent tear.
Silent tear?
For how long have you been working here, Nurse Crane?
I first volunteered at the Pembroke in 1911, a few months after Dr. Swansea was appointed.
And before you arrived here?
If you must know, this was my first job.
Oh.
What can you tell me about the epidemic, Nurse Crane? I've been out of touch since I've come back to England.
Everyday folk don't know how bad it is. The papers certainly won't tell them. Not as long as the war is raging on, anyway.
News on the front stated that the Spanish flu was under control, at least in Britain.
It seemed to be for a while, but that was only last summer. It returned with a vengeance just over a month ago.
Die hard with a vengeance.
What can you tell me about our patients here at Pembroke?
This hospital was founded to help the East End poor and needy. But since the war and the quarantine, we've had all manner of folk.
Can you be more specific?
Well, veterans, the elderly, dock workers. We even have a few mental patients. If there's space, we take them.
General Hospital, yes.
I'll see you later, Nurse Crane.
Good evening, sir. Blundering idiot.
Oops.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I talked
Good
to
evening,
him.
sir. I'm Dr. Reid. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
I can mesmerize him.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reid.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reid? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you
different from
I often
carpenters.
have professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Okay.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
Tell me more.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
So many died during the
I'm
bomb.
sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
We know almost everything about you. Everything.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
My sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Let's check the people. Alright. These are in there. We have to treat him for fatigue. Where is he?
Never could keep anything from her.
Let's talk to people.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Oh, you are Milton's accomplice.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of being useful? By abusing the sick and poor?
No. It is my definition of getting out of this useless life once and for all.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead, or will be soon. Don't you see the futility of all this?
How can you be affected by the misery around you and be so heartless at the same time? Which is the real you, Nurse Hawkins?
I could ask you the same question, Dr. Reid. Are you more real when you lie to a dying patient, or when you grant him useless medication?
Whose idea was it?
What difference does it make? We did it together, and I'm guilty as charged.
Answer my question.
It was my idea first, even though Milton would say it was his, to protect me.
When they're guilty, they have the tendency to answer a question with a question.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Can't mesmer.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Let's check for something useful in this hospital.
It's locked.
It's locked. Slowly we're starting to get the grip of this game. We have to interview people, talk to them. A little bit like a, let's say, a gossip paper. Who is she? These people. Find out what they have done. Who is this doctor? Let's talk to him. Hello?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reid. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
A real doctor? Mm-hmm.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof.
Poof. But we are all a poof. Most people fear death flesh.
Interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Wow. That's deep.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
That reminds me of a joke from the Monkey Island 2 game. At some point someone says, I wanted to be Monkey Island 2. I'm not sure. Maybe one of the Monkey Islands. It says I wanted to be an undertaker, but I couldn't stop coughing.
Do you work here alone?
Yes,
little dark humor.
Work, all I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
A funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Relieved, yes. From her life. Personal questions. You are a pawnbroker?
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. for I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade?
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
That's weird. He should be the star in the Pawn Stars.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
You believe in life after
Since
death?
you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
Rakesh.
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Are you sure?
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reid. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Well, let's trade.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Sodium hypochlorite solution. Ferocious. Iron tartrate. Codeine. Potassium Egotamine. Ion. Okay, he sells chemicals. Whoa!
I'm sorry
I cannot enter.
Cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that...
Your city needs you. Your city needs you. Every life saved by efficient medical aid is a blown strap at the heart of the flu epidemic. Volunteers make the difference. Inquire the nearest appointment office of the Ministry Library. I think we already
It's locked, all right.
What is? Yes.
You always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me, I'm an idiot.
Hospital food due to influenza. The hospital cannot will take any patients unless you pay some shillings. Everything can change.
The patients are not fools. They know we are overwhelmed by this horrified
Use this. Keep it. Okay. Anyone else? Oh, here it is, Mr. Claycock.
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reid. Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Children of the night, that's what. About the man who pushed in the water.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
I don't think he cares.
Make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts.
Oops.
Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother.
I had to kill him.
Thought it would be easy to return the favour.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reid. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
He's rude.
You're lucky to be alive, Mr. Cox. I hope you're starting to take better care of yourself.
This place is full of sickness and decay. How could I get better in such a dump?
Consider yourself lucky that I'm treating all of my patients equally.
Yes.
But don't push your luck.
Don't play the innocent with me. I'm sure you have good reasons to act this way. And also weaknesses that can be exploited.
What a good person.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
He is.
What's wrong with
What
the hospital?
can I say? A weird guy.
The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
Good person.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
Personal question. How long can you avoid the law?
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
Are you sure?
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Wait, we had a new option.
Doc.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
No, it doesn't give us any other option.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Okay. We have to find these two. These two. I guess they are on the other side of the wing, of the hospital wing. Let's check for the clues. He's recovering. He's also recovering. We got 2 clues for him. Clay intends to remain the gang leader after his recovery. Clay had murdered the brother of the man who tried to kill him. No hints. No hints. We know everything about him. We know everything about Milton Hooks, but not the others. Okay, not bad.
And I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
Let's talk to the nurse.
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised.
We are flattered.
I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
The future?
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun.
That's true.
Doctor.
The microbes are, and the viruses are an invisible enemy.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already
with
resigned.
Vaccines, with other invisible killers.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Or antibiotics.
Most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them? Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
She's a professional nurse. Guess.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
So she covered for him.
Reid. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett in our situation?
Maybe later.
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
Okay, we won't lose him. The harder they fall. Investigation updated. Is 5. Oh.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Oh. We lost a hint. I cannot
Goodbye,
undo
nurse.
that.
Call me if you need assistance.
Wrong button, yeah. Ah. Too bad. I hope there wasn't some kind of achievement.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reid. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just
Bliss.
escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Why do you feel responsible for the injury, Thomas? What really
If he's responsible.
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells. It happened during my leave. It was an accident.
But the suffering continues.
Tell me what really happened then.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead drunk I was. The hotel was a shithole. There was a fire that night.
Did you start the fire? Were you trying to avoid going back to the front? That's not uncommon, you know.
No. It's just that I was asleep when the flames reached the room. The girl was long gone. Bitch never woke me up. Left me to burn.
Why lie about it?
Come on. It's one thing to come back disfigured by the Germans, and it's another to get injured in an accident that could have happened to anybody.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful for some soldiers.
I don't want to wear a bloody mask for the rest of my life. I'd rather stay here and just be forgotten.
We lost another hint. Interesting.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
None taken.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Goodbye, Mr. Elwood.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
Thanks.
It's here again.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reid, is it? Oh, sorry, I must apologize
Oh,
for my
that
behavior.
was the...
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
First answer some question. Mr. John Hampton.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why.
Suddenly changed to
Just
blood.
like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reid. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Poor soul.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found
yeah.
you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise?
Yes, they are.
The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
That's good.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the Dockers Trade Union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
But their leader is outside.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show.
He's
the
outside.
assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Good for you.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks, and I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Are you a priest?
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Why not use your cross against William?
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
And how did the Swansea use it against Dr. Reid?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest, and then I can go back to the people who need me.
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really, but I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving
Miserable
visits when
life?
sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll
Goodbye.
talk again later.
Hello again, Dr. Reid.
Hello again.
I feel better already. Can I go soon?
Can't I see what's happening?
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
That's weird. We didn't check on him.
It's locked.
And go inside there. Why not?
I met him in New York. If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count on you. I wish I could say the same for the others.
You look exhausted. You're pushing yourself too hard. You don't have to bear the burdens of this.
And here. Here. Look to Edward Swansea. Where is he?
I cannot enter.
Not here. He's upstairs, maybe.
The daily routine.
Closed door. Oh, here he is.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Jonathan.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier.
Penultimate?
The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line
What a
between
word.
life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire.
He's a vampire himself,
One might
yes.
say a gift from heaven.
Well, a weird gift. What should we answer? What can I say? I'm a living
There is an
paradox.
absurd poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Okay, Edgar.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Jonathan Harker.
Go on.
No, that's from Dracula.
Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Ah, okay. Come on, let's talk.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
Yes. I have questions.
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
First of all, hint, hint, hint. He has 3 hints. We cannot mesmerize him. Unknown, unknown, unknown. We already have... I thought we found them. How interesting.
You mentioned something about a secret
The
society.
Brotherhood of Steel. No, that's for loud.
Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
Observers, yeah. Reminds me of Highlander. the series. The Watchers. The Watchers? I think. Yeah, maybe.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Don't you fear me?
You don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you
Penny
now
Dreadful,
find yourself in.
good series. Based on the penny... on the newspapers, which were a penny, I think. And they had horror stories back then.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Not completely?
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
So, I have to eat?
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Oh, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
To be a good vampire.
You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
What about William Bishop?
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory. William Bishop, I believe. Was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
Where do skulls come from?
How do skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a skull?
A skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
Okay, that was clear. Goodbye, Mr. Edgar Swansea.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
Edgar Allan Poe. Anything to take from here? Oh, what's this? Details. Warning letter. Pembroke Hospital, 25th October. Dear Dr. Swansea, I must inform you of my deepest reservations concerning the Dr. Thoreau Strickland and Harvey Piddick's case. Mr. Fiddick has been hospitalized after a severe work injury. He may permanently lose the use of his arm if not treated adequately. Dr. Strickland claims that a surgical procedure may save the man's arm completely. I say it may also serve its functions for good if complications arise. Our young colleague is an audacious and daring surgeon who might prove a great professional in a few years, but for now he lacks the skills to perform such a risky procedure. Need I remind you of the mistakes he made in the past? Since Dr. Strickland refuses to listen to me, I strongly advise you to forbid him to perform such hazardous experiment. Very respectfully, Dr. Wavery Ackroyd. So he sent a letter. Oh, another letter. Rare species of vampires. Okay, I won't read all this. Okay. There are some species of vampires. Okay. It's a clue. Check something else. No, we don't want to talk to him. Oh, what's this? Letter from Rakesh, Canada. Pembroke Hospital, 4th of August. Dear Dr. Swansea, I will be glad to manage the temporary morgue as soon as it opens. As I have already told you, I was a doctor during the war and I will be glad to serve my country again. I know it's not the same being a physician for the dead as it is for the living, but I believe it is important to welcome take good care of the departed too. Rest assured, I will do my best to fully perform this new duty to the best of my ability. Concerning the question of my qualification, I'm sorry. I can't give you anything more valuable than my parole. I swear to you that my regiment made me a doctor during the war and that I saved many lives. If my word is not enough, I can contact the military administration to verify my experience and skills. They will confirm that even if I never followed the medical studies, the war taught me what a doctor really needs to know. Always sincerely, Rakesh Kadana, former doctor. Without a degree or something, but he's experienced. He got his experience from the everyday things he did during the war. After all, he'll be at the morgue. So he won't hurt the living if he makes a mistake. Yes, I know I have to go there. Just checking. Locked. Who is it? Dr. Tippett. Dr. Yeah, we already checked all these places. Oh, let's fly down. Dr. Swansea's message. Dear Jonathan, I asked Nurse Crane to secure an office for you on the second floor. Please forgive the austere decoration, but Pembroke Hospital is not exactly the rich. Sorry to let you discover your office alone, but I need to sleep a little before going back to work. I'm just a mere mortal, after all. I also gave orders to let you rest and for the staff to never enter your room. You will be able to sleep all day without being disturbed and work at night without raising any suspicion. I'm afraid the place is quite messy, but you'll be able to conduct your experiments here at your own pace. You'll also notice there is an open window, with a scaffolding that will allow you to enter or exit the hospital without being noticed. I imagine how awful new and disturbing this all must be for you. Believe me, I have studied enough of your species to understand that you must now be facing and feeling what you must now be facing and feeling. Be assured, I'll do whatever I can to help you in this ordeal. Know that you are not completely alone facing it. I'm glad I met you. Why did he say all this just in person? He had to write a letter. I'm glad I met you. These dark times we are all presently facing. I hope our future collaboration will yield great results. Welcome to Pembroke, my esteemed colleague. We shall talk soon. We already talked, but... Yours is C.S. Edward Griffith Johnson. P.S. I left a copy of some of my notes concerning what I have discovered about Econ in the last few years. Feel free to read about it if you need some guidance, as long as you don't use this knowledge to take advantage of me. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Nothing else left here. Oh.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
How do I water it? Anyway, let's jump. Ooh. We found the screw. Oh, here at the distance they are.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk.
Rainfield.
And we'll be up again soon enough.
All these names from the Dracula.
Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Sweet, sweet lady. Mercy.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night. Before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
Maybe she can teach us some things about vampires.
You must have countless questions.
No, we have.
Urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
That was unexpected.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Necessary evil.
Pardon my boldness, your ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
Condition?
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need weight.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Okay.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion.
Victim of extortion?
I made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
Oh, she doesn't know who the blackmailer.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient or their family.
Patient or family?
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this
The
matter
fixer.
is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
Is it true?
Now aren't you the blunt one?
Excuse my impertinence, your ladyship. This is not an interrogation. I assure you that this line of questioning is in your best interest.
In all honesty, I'm not simply a patron to the hospital. My visits serve a dual purpose. Dr. Swansea has been treating my condition with a revolutionary technique of blood transfusion. It seems you are a specialist in the domain.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reid. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé.
Obligé?
I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Okay, so we'll have to find... Wait a minute.
Is our little mystery closer to being solved, Dr. Reid?
I think of nothing else.
I just left.
The situation is delicate, and it occupies all my thoughts. The blackmail must stop. I need assurance.
Don't worry. We'll do our best. So, let's check who is who. No, we still haven't found these two. 3 per side.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Yes. One more hint we need.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
There are a lot of secrets round here. I'm not surprised someone tried to make money from them.
What kind of secrets?
I'm not in the gossip business, Dr. Reid. If you want to know more, you better talk to Harriet Jones. She's the oldest patient here.
Goodbye, Milton.
Where is this Harriet Jones? I think he's the one. Yes, he's the one.
Daily routine.
Let's talk to her too. Or we can talk to her. No, we can. We can.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
She looks like
dust blown by the winds of eternity.
That witch from Harry Potter.
My clemency.
The one that
Tonight
killed
maybe I'm inclined to mercy.
Dobby,
You'll never forget the night you
played
met
by
Thelma
Helena Bonham
Howcroft.
Carter.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well,
Immortal.
Dr. Reid, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Really? Okay.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am.
Because I suck at everything.
It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Of Cotard syndrome.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard.
Cotard.
The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
A little bit. Not much. Because I'm a vampire, and I know.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
I prefer bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Okay.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me, for I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal, but do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Okay.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal?
Hmm.
What do you require?
No.
Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Have you heard of any blackmailing going on within these walls?
I have no time for mortal games. My secrets are beyond their comprehension, Dr. Reid.
Okay.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
No respect.
Oh, here she is.
They belong to you.
Nothing else. Okay, let's talk to her.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reid, the new surgeon.
Preposterous.
Preposterous.
Dr. Reid, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I guess.
Exactly. You're the
Better than any
informer.
patient, nurse, or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something.
Yes,
This
I
isn't
do.
a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
You seem to know more about the goings-on here than anyone else. Beware, Miss Jones, in case suspicion should fall on you.
The suspicions
Blame the old and infirm. I
fall
see
on
those
her,
little
I don't
bitches,
think.
Greedy little eyes, just waiting for me to pop off they are.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans.
Not the debauchery.
Can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Find the nurse Pippa Hawkins, find nurse Dorothy Crane, and find nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. I already interviewed those.
Miss Jones, greetings. How do we feel?
Again? Waking a poor old woman in her sleep? There isn't a poor life needs
You
saving
weren't
somewhere?
sleeping, I just talked to you.
Now, I need to ask you a few simple questions.
Well, if you really must.
If you could just tell me why you were admitted.
It's terrible, Doctor. What with a pain in my chest, coughing up blood, and I get awfully tired. Wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't lost my house and all.
I see.
No one comes to visit, you know. Not even my own flesh and blood.
Have you noticed any suspicious comings or goings?
It would be a great deal easier to make a list of things unsuspicious in this house of charlatans.
Surely it's not that bad.
Come now, Miss Jones. Surely it's not that bad.
Have you no eyes? This hospital accepts all manner of souls, regardless of origin. The proper sick cannot heal. We're kept sickened by the refugees.
Everyone here is very capable. I have not seen any instances of unprofessionalism.
Thieves and murderers, the lot. People have gone
No,
missing
don't
here,
say
you know.
that. There were
without
some
a
of
trace.
them.
I'll come and visit you shortly. Good night, Miss Jones.
Good night, Miss Jones. Level 3, healthy. Let's see, did we talk to everyone? These two are missing. Maybe later they'll pop up.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Hello again, Dr. Reid. I feel better already. Can I go soon?
Nothing new.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
The pain. It's here again.
Let's talk to Pippa Hawkins.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reid.
Personal questions? No, nothing new. So, strange man visiting nurses?
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
Oh.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
Doctor, please. Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
One nurse out. Where is the other? Oh, there she is.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
You already asked her all these questions, but...
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Really? That's weird. Because I heard something.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Where are you, Dorothy? Oh, she's the one. What happened? Why this low frame rate? wrong. No, she is on the others.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom. He's really pissed me off this.
Whoa, who is this? Not Clay Cox, someone else, unknown. Yeah, down there. Eavesdrop. Press L to activate your sense. If a citizen is behaving suspiciously, their heart will emit a distinct glow. By looking at the citizen, you unlock a special interaction. Look at Dorothy Crane.
What's that do? Relax. You're safe. Don't worry, we're safe.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I ought to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Who is she? That's strange. Oh, they left. Retrieve the thug in the sewer. Okay. Loading, loading, loading. So, I'll guess I'll pause for a moment and continue a little bit later. Well, thanks for watching, gamers, internet, everyone. We continue a little bit later. Bye for now.